I'm not saying that he doesn't like white people. I'm saying he has a problem. This guy is, I believe, a racist.
What? Y'all gon' make me lose my mind. Up in here, up in here. Y'all gon' make me go all out. Up in here, up in here.
He is post-racial by all appearances. I forgot he was black tonight for an hour.
We've already donated to Haiti. It's called the U.S. income tax.
What? Y'all gon' make me lose my mind. Up in here, up in here. Y'all gon' make me go all out. Up in here, up in here.
It is as though we're still on a plantation.
Warren Ballentine, the number one truth fighter in America.
All right, True Fighters, 888-669-2281. I don't know if you guys are following this Bill Cosby thing closely, but, it's also been revealed that he owned a whole bunch of land, and they were trying to run a natural gas pipeline through it, and he didn't want them to do it. I'm reading this story now. This is crazy. $3.7 billion? Wow. I got to do a little investigative work on that. That may be the reason that he's going through this right now. You know that? 888-669-2281. 888-669-2281. Let's start off with Sherry in Seattle. Good morning, Sherry.
Good morning. My only comment is that I disagree with your comment that it's not racially motivated, that the difference between, I think it was, and I'm still on vacation, so I'm trying to get it together, but the difference between how blacks are treated and whites are treated didn't have so much to do with race. And I think it does because, originally this country was organized based on race. So I think if you just, trace it back to how we started, that's something that we've never gotten away from. We organize everything by race. We organize even like the census, even if you're applying for college money, your FAFSA, if you're applying for a job, everything is organized by race. So, and I may have caught your comment. I may not have the full story, but what you said, but I thought I heard you say that it didn't have anything to do.
Oh, no. I
race,
said race was
the ranchers.
race. I said the race is the easy answer. I said let's look deeper past the race. It's the race is the easy answer because we know that it's a difference because of the skin color, but it's also other issues that's going on here that's giving them some leeway. And part of it is based on the fact that they own that land and that they are ranchers, and they're worried that if they do something to them, they may shut down the farms and the ranches in California, Washington, and other areas, and they don't want that to happen. But race is definitely a factor. It's always going to be a factor in this country, but it's the easy answer. It's the answer that's the low-hanging fruit. So let's look a little bit past that to see what other issues lie underneath that. And to me, part of the reason they're getting the treatment they're getting isn't just because they're white. It's because of the value that they have. If they didn't have that value, even as white people, I think they would be treated differently. They would still be treated better than black folk, but they would be treated differently if they didn't have any value.
See, I don't agree. I don't see it that way at all. I see why you do, but I definitely don't. No, not at all.
So you think if they was just poor, you think if they was just poor white men who didn't own any land and was overtaking a federal government building, they would still be treated the way they treated right now?
Yeah, because poor white people are crazier than poor rich people. I absolutely do. I don't think that it comes down to some intrinsic value of these ranchers that the government is looking to preserve so that this country can keep moving forward, et cetera, et cetera. I think we have all that locked down. This country, it would take a lot for this country to stop, and it's the trucking, the railroads. It's not these guys out there in Oregon. They're going to pull the plug and cause some, doomsday scenario. No, it's not that. I think it's just because they're white.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. If other ranchers, and they got an association of ranchers and farmers. Now, if this association that which they are a part of supports them and says, well, if they do something to them, we all gonna shut it down. You don't think that could shut down something in America?
No, look what happened to Oprah. Remember when Oprah stood up to the beef industry a long time ago when she made like one teeny-weeny comment on her show about how beef was something. I forget what she said, but it was something that they caught wind of, and they were like, oh, for real? That's how you want to play us? And I think they sued her because of that comment. But it didn't affect anything, and that was all about race. You know,
yeah, but that's apples and oranges. That's apples and oranges because Oprah didn't shut down because of Oprah. They just sued Oprah because of the comments she made. I'm talking about if the federal government went in here and used arms against these ranchers and somebody got shot or somebody got killed or they arrested these ranchers, and then in protest their organization said, well, we're gonna tell all the ranchers and the farmers in our organization not to work for a week. You don't think that would slow something down?
No, I think they're not doing anything because they don't want to get shot back. Okay, another example, Waco. They went in there and they burned that place to the ground. Why? Because those people were not heavily armed. They might have had a few guns in there, but they were, I don't know if you call them peaceful people, but they weren't armed to the teeth kind of people. But what did they do? They went in there and they burned that building down to the ground, men, women, and kids. So we know our government can do it when they want to do it. They're just not doing it this time because they don't want the law enforcement on their side getting gunned down and these wives saying, why did you send our husbands into this situation?
So you think it's because you think it's because they have heavy artillery with them. This is why they're not moved. The police haven't moved in on them yet.
Oh yeah, they're gonna clap back, and they know that.
They go clap back. You know that. You right. They gonna clap back if they come in there shooting.
You know they are. I mean, it's going down. Like it's really gonna go down. So I mean, I think that's all it really boils down to is that they're armed, and then the white and. That's the difference, but I've taken up too much time, and that's all I have to say.
All right, well, we're going to agree to disagree this morning because I think it's a little bit more than that. I think it's more than just they got guns and they white. I think it's also because I think if you're tactical about this, you have to look at it and say, okay, what's going to be the ramifications if we go in here? Is it going to be somebody getting shot, which is a great point that you brought up because you're right, they are going to clap back. But it's also, do we take a chance on alienating other ranchers and farmers? And does this, if we alienate them, does this spiral into something really big? Or is this going to be something that just kind of goes away? And see, I think this is the difference, and this is my opinion, between blacks and whites. And I'm saying it in this sense. Because if something happened to these white ranchers, you will have a portion of white America who already are calling them patriots for doing this, empathizing with them and actually participating in shutting down and trying to shut down and everything else. Where when people mess with black folk, first thing we say, well, they must have done something, or they guilty of what they're being accused of, or, that ain't my problem. And that's why I think that they're not just gun-ho running in here, because I think that they've sat down and said, okay, what's the ramifications if we just run up in here on these people?
True. I agree. I do agree with that. But I think that the ripple will be from the lower income Trump supporter people who would get a hold of this and say, oh, well, that's what they did and it wasn't right. So, X, Y, and Z. It's not going to be your one.
Since you brought up Trump. If he's president, what you think he would do with a situation like this? If he was president?
Oh my gosh. You know what? What would Trump do with these ranchers? I think that he would throw his money around. That's what he knows how to do. I think that.
What you gonna do when he's President Trump?
Financially.
What you gonna do when he's President Trump?
What am I gonna do? Oh my gosh, I have no idea. But you know what? He's not gonna become president. I don't think we're that far. We're not that crazy. I don't see him being President Trump. at all. No, I still think the Clintons have something worked out with him.
You know, a lot of people keep saying
throw a monkey wrench into the race.
A lot of people keep saying that, Sherry. I thank you for the call. Have a great day. I'm gonna break that down too right now, because a lot of people keep saying that. A lot of people keep saying, "Well, I think he has something going on with the Clintons." I thought that too until I saw this interview Sunday. I'm gonna try to find the interview and put it up on social media. But in this interview, the reporter was showing the Clintons where Trump was talking about Monica Lewinsky. He was talking about Jennifer Flowers. I mean, Trump was going hard to the baseline. I mean, like, Trump had no chill in him going after them. None. And the reporter said, well, Hillary, what do you think? She said, oh, it's 2016. I made a New Year's resolution. I'm not going to say anything about Donald Trump. Well, Bill, what do you think? Bill Clinton was visibly red and biting his lips and said no comment. But see, I think the reason why is because I think they're afraid of Trump, just like the Republicans, because I think Trump has dirt on all these people. And I think he's basically, they know if they push the wrong button with him, he gonna let the closet door open. And see, the thing about power is this: even if he had this deal with Bill, now that he's in a position of power, he don't want to relinquish that. I'll break that down a little bit further for you. 888-669-2281. I mean, ladies, y'all know that once you get that man wrapped around your finger and you got him hooked, you know what you do. Same thing with men when we get that power. Power hard, man. 888-669-2281. Talking to you, Truth Fighters. Warren Ballentine Show.